800,000 Americans are silently losing kidney function right now. 60% of the filtration power is destroyed before a single symptom appears. Look down at your feet. If your shoes feel tight this afternoon, or you woke up with a puffy face and a heavy, sluggish ache in your lower back, your biological filters are sending a desperate SOS. Everything you have been told about kidney health is a dangerous half-truth. It is not, end quote, aging, end quote, it is glomerular perfusion collapse. The 2025 Journal of the American Society of Nephrology just published a landmark 90-day trial on adults over 55. They identified the exact mechanism behind this silent organ death. The mainstream medical directive is simple. Your doctor tells you to drink 8 glasses of plain water to flush your system. They tell you to cut your salt. But if you have this specific internal blockage, chugging water is like forcing a high-pressure firehose through a rusted, clogged pipe. It does not heal the tissue. It fractures the delicate architecture of your vascular system. And the worst part? A daily morning habit sitting in your bathroom right now is actively killing the exact bacteria your kidneys need to survive. We will break down that exact protocol in a moment. But first, you must understand what that forced hydration is doing to your microvessels under a microscope. Your kidneys are a masterful piece of biological engineering. They rely on millions of microscopic pipes called glomeruli. Think of them as high-precision filtration grates. When you are young, these micropipes are wide open. Blood flows freely. Toxins drain out. But over decades of processing industrial seed oils and refined carbohydrates, these vessels suffer glomerular perfusion collapse. The micropipes rust shut. The sugar molecule latches onto the protein strand like a barnacle welding itself to a ship hull. It hardens. It crystallizes. Inflammation corrodes the delicate lining like a smoldering fire. Blood pressure spikes because the hydraulic fluid has nowhere to escape. The system is choked. What do you think happens when you force a gallon of water through a pipe that has rusted shut? The pressure builds relentlessly. The pipes do not clear. They warp. They scar. They rupture. You are forcing high-volume fluid against immense physical friction. Standard medicine prescribes a synthetic pill to lower the systemic blood pressure. But that medication leaves the micropipes rusted and sealed. It reduces the pump speed but ignores the concrete in the filter. Pause for a second. Press a finger firmly into your ankle. Does the indent stay there? That is the toxic exhaust backing up into your physical chassis. Your internal engine is overheating. Stagnant fluid is leaking into the surrounding tissue because the primary exhaust valves are locked shut. The JSN research group documented this precise pathological cascade in thousands of aging patients. They watched the microscarring spread through the tissue like a systemic wildfire. They proved that sheer fluid volume means nothing without microcirculation. You do not need to drown a blocked drain with more water. You need a biological rust-dissolving solvent. A compound that can enter the bloodstream, locate the hardened microscopic barnacles, dissolve the calcification, and force the pressure valves wide open. And you have the exact chemical ingredients to make that solvent sitting in your kitchen right now. The solution is not a synthetic medication. It is a highly specific biological compound. The red hibiscus beet lemon tonic. Standard medicine ignored it, but the JSN researchers proved its mechanical superiority. They found that dietary nitrates extracted from raw beets act as a targeted hydraulic override. When consumed correctly, they force the pressure valves open. They are the raw material for nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the master biological lubricant. It coats your endothelium like a fresh layer of Teflon spray. It instantly dilates the rusted micropipes, dropping the internal friction to zero. The blood stops crashing against the vessel walls. It glides. Simultaneously, the anthocyanins concentrated in the hibiscus act as a relentless chemical scrub. They bind to the oxidized waste. They dissolve the inflammatory rust. They strip the microscarring out of the filters cell by cell, restoring the permeable membrane so toxins can finally pass through. You might think you need expensive Western superfoods to achieve this concentration. You do not. Hibiscus, known globally as roselle, contains 3 times the anthocyanin density of blueberries for a fraction of the cost. The execution protocol is strict. The dosage is non-negotiable. Take 2 tablespoons of dried, organic hibiscus petals. Steep them in hot water for exactly 5 minutes. Blend half a medium raw beet until it is smooth. Squeeze the juice of 1 whole lemon. Combine the liquids. Strain the fibrous residue. Drink this tonic first thing in the morning, on an absolutely empty stomach. Do not consume food or drink for 30 minutes before or after. A documented 41% improvement in glomerular filtration rate. That ISN and APOS, T just stopping the damage, that is reversing the biological clock. Your filtration numbers physically dial backward. You can fortify this process with secondary flush protocols throughout the day. Blend 2 cups of fresh watermelon with half an inch of raw ginger. This delivers rapid L-Citrulline directly to your bloodstream. You must drink it within 20 minutes of juicing to trigger an emergency pressure valve opening before the compounds oxidize. Alternatively, brew a dense tea of nettle leaf, dandelion root, and turmeric with black pepper. This specific combination flushes the toxic exhaust without stripping structural minerals like potassium. It shifts the heavy detox load directly to the liver, giving the kidneys critical downtime to repair. Even a single tablespoon of acacia fiber dissolved in room temperature water acts as a potent internal sponge. It physically traps uremic waste in the intestines. The toxins are expelled through digestion, meaning your kidneys never even have to filter them. Drop your pen. Before you make this tonic, you need to check your bathroom sink for this silent killer. Remember that morning habit? Antibacterial mouthwash. When you rinse your mouth with those harsh industrial chemicals, you are pouring concrete directly into your pressure valves. You systematically murder the specific microbiome living on the grooves of your tongue. That exact bacteria is required to convert the dietary nitrates from your beet tonic into nitric oxide. You can drink the tonic every single day, but if you use mouthwash, the chemical conversion never happens. Your pipes stay rusted shut. Throw the mouthwash in the trash. Avoid bottled hibiscus drinks entirely. The processed sugar inside them acts as liquid sandpaper, scratching the walls of your newly cleaned pipes. But clearing the rust is only step 1. What happens to your physical form when the exhaust finally drains out? Fast forward 30 days into your future. You wake up. You look in the mirror. Your jawline is sharp. The morning puffiness is entirely gone. The heavy, dull ache in your lower back has vanished. You slip effortlessly into shoes that used to pinch and throb. You feel a massive surge of clean afternoon energy. That is not an illusion. That is simply the feeling of toxic exhaust finally draining from your engine. 800,000 people will lose their kidney function this year. You do not have to be one of them. Look down at your ankles right now. Your body is a magnificent, self-cleaning machine. Modern disease is not a biological error, it is an environmental poisoning. Remove the interference. Give your micropipes the precise chemistry they are starving for, and they will rebuild their own architecture. Now that your kidneys are flushed and your internal pressure valves are finally wide open, the next threat is already circulating. It is targeting your heart. Click here to learn how to clear the calcified concrete from your heart valves by dismantling the one breakfast food sitting in 90% of kitchens.